Hello again. As I promised before, here's a quick video on how to do 3D plots in Mathcad. I'm Mark French and I'm at the Mechanical Engineering Technology Department at Purdue University. Here's our department website, and just in case you didn't know, the YouTube channel is Purdue MET. Alright, in order to do a plot in 3 dimensions, you have to have 2 independent variables, and I'll call those variables x and y, and 1 dependent variable, and I'll call that z. Now I've already worked out a function here. Let's call that our function. Sine squared x plus cosine squared y times e to this stuff up here. What this does, this makes the amplitude of z get smaller the farther away from 0 you get. Okay, so if you want to know what that looks like, we've got a function x and y as the independent variables, z is the dependent variable, and all you have to do is go up and say insert graph, and there's 2 kinds of 3D graphs, well 3 kinds really. We're going to use the surface plot right there. Now I had to zoom this in to get good resolution on the YouTube video, so I'm going to scroll up. You won't be able to see that anymore. There. In fact, actually, let's do this. Let's zoom out just a tad, see how this works. That's better. Okay. Right now, I've got axes that are just in default range. They all go from -1 to +1. And there's this little box down here. That's where I put my dependent variable. So there you go. That's what it looks like right now, and that's not terribly useful. So let's fix a couple of things. Number 1, let's go to the appearance box here. There's a lot of choices we have here. This is the appearance box. Let's say hide lines. Well, that helps a little bit, but it also helps if we use a color map. Okay, now this is live. I can rotate this as I choose. That's good, but it's a little rough. It's easy to imagine that this plot is maybe not as rough as it looks right now. And the reason it looks so rough is that there aren't many points in the x and y direction. Let's just to keep things organized here, let's just label the axes. Now normally you'd have maybe some physical quantity here, but for right now I'll just call these x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. Okay, so now we can see what we're doing. We know which one's which. Okay, let's go ahead and ask for more points plotted on the screen. This format where you just type in z and hit return and let it guess what the ranges of x and y should be is called a quick plot. So if I want to change it, I go to the quick plot data. Now for right now, I'm saying that those are okay. -5 to 5 are okay for both the x and the y ranges. Let's add more points. Let's go, instead of 20 points per in the x and y range, let's go to 40 and see what happens. Oh, that's better. That's much better. Okay, so now I can see what's going on here. I can actually go to more if I want. I think this will let you go up to 99. Let's go up to 75 and just see what we get. Okay, there. That's nice and smooth now. Now it's, even when you look at it directly from the top like I am now, the colors show you what's going on. Alright, so there's what you expect. There's we've got the lines hidden from each other, but you can still see the axis label through there, sort of. If we want to go to solid, we can. We can say fill surface if we like. So now you can't see through it at all. We can say fill contours. Okay, so now it looks much more 3D. And we can do no fill if we like, which is what we had before. Alright, and there are more. You can do lighting if you want. You can let's see if this works here. There, you can see there's shadows on it now, so that gives more of a 3D image to it. It makes it easier to interpret. And of course we can change the shape or the size of the plot just by pulling and dragging as you normally would. Alright, now one other thing we can do is, if you prefer, let's turn the lighting off, If we prefer, we can go switch from a surface plot to a contour plot. Okay, that's what it looks like now. We're using the color as the third axis, and we're using x and y as our two dependent variables. The independent variable, the z-axis, is actually going in and out of the screen and is shown only by the colors. So this is a 2D representation of a 3D surface. I'm kind of a 3D guy. I think I'm going to go back to that. That's much better. So there you go. This is fairly easy. This is called a quick plot feature. There are more complicated ways to do 3D plots, but that's probably the easiest one and the one you'll use the most often.